Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Encounters, the morning show. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. Glad to have you with us. And it's a Friday morning, and we're here on a beautiful sunny day, and we're getting ready for a great weekend. And as you know, tomorrow night we'll be streaming live here at the beach in Madison, Connecticut, on the Long Island Sound. We're going to have a major Ashtar Command contact event tomorrow night where we're going to be using Dr. Stephen Greer's protocol plus our own protocol. HD, good to see you. Crossbones, good morning. Hetty, good morning. And yeah, I fixed my moderator stuff. I had a lot of moderators on my list, some of which have been very present. So I basically, I'm resetting my moderator list to the ones that are more active. And it's good to have everybody here. Good morning. A lot of stuff going on in the world. A lot of things happening. And we had April on last night. And my latest show from last night with Eddie, he was on yesterday morning, and we had a better interview in the evening from the Star Nation conferences. We also had April on in Vermont, who had more revelations from the command. And you can listen and watch that show from last night on my YouTube channel, Ashtar Command Spaceship News. Please share and like. We'll be on till about 10 o'clock. So we'll be on till 10 a.m. this morning. So it's going to be a pretty decent show. Hey, Jordan, good to see you, brother. Tasha, good to see you. And good to see everybody coming in here. Let's get things rolling. Please share and like with the people that you like to think that you'd like to have come and watch the show. I'm going to send some invites out myself here. Greetings, Lady Wolf. I'm just going to randomly just let people know we're here this morning. And we're going to spread the word, so to speak. So we're sending those invites out right now. I can do up to 15, it looks like here. Did I hit 15? Maybe I did. Thank you, Eddie, for sharing the live, and all the people that are sharing the live. Thank you so much. You have a share button. If you have any friends on your friends list that are open, cosmically awakened, and interested in what we're doing, please share and let them know. That's how it is. And also keep tapping on the button. As you tap, it'll give us more people liking it. We have 1.3 thousand. I know in an hour and a half we're not going to get up to 100,000, but you never know. So we have 63 people. Everybody tap the screen. All 63 of you, 65 of you. You have to tap the screen. When you see the hearts happening, look at the top corner of my screen. You see the numbers. That's the likes. So when you tap, the numbers go up. That's really, really important. So you might not think about it, but I do. Sly V, good morning. Tony Valentine, good morning. Good morning, everybody out there. We appreciate you. All the people. I'm also a talk show host on Sunday mornings of WESU-FM, HeyGary.org's NPR Pacifica radio show, Cosmic Eye Ashtar Command Radio, Ashtar Command Radio every Sunday. Co-Fish, Kevin Green, Andrea, welcome to our show. For those that have never seen the show, I'm trying to do some morning shows. Our big show is usually at night at 11 o'clock, a show that's out of this world. Again, Encounters. This is officially, and has since we started it, a spiritual UFO show. So we're not like into, like what is the metal made of the spaceship, the technical aspects. We're really getting into things like encounters, visitations people are having, abductions, the crop circles, the inner Earth, Antarctica. We get into the Bigfoot, the fairies, the mer people. And I gotta say, with all this AI garbage that's going on, this is really amazingly disturbing. With all the creative content people out there, and this is going to be aimed at what I see on TikTok. All these people are creating all this AI stuff with all their AI technology now, all these images. So now you got these images of mer people that are looking like monsters. I mean, really. That is not only disgusting but disturbing, that people would, with so many creative, conscious minds, would create, the first thing they want to create is the distortion of what the mer people look like. Let's talk about that for a few minutes, because I'm seeing it rampant on here on TikTok, and I'll make comments, this is not what the mer people look like. But there are people making these, the videos on TikTok showing, a mer person looking like a skeleton face or this or that. It's just not true. And don't fall for any of it, because it's all lies. It's all, whatever these people are doing, they're not thinking consciously about what they're doing, because they're doing this stuff and they think, oh wow, I just created this really weird looking thing. That's the problem on this planet. The misinformation and the visual misinformation that's being provided on TikTok, with these mer people looking like they're ready to gobble you up with big teeth and their faces look weird. That's not what mer people look like. Okay? Mer people look very beautiful. Very beautiful. And it's an injustice to the mer people that live on our planet and our oceans and seas to have them represented that way, because it's not the way they look. It really has gotten to the point where we've got to talk about it. And those creators out there that are doing this, you might not be thinking anything about this, but you are totally doing it in injustice to the mer people that have lived here for longer than you have, and live and have families and live in our oceans and seas in different parts of the planet. It's a reality. It's got to stop. And if I'm the first one here to say it, I will say it. It's just got to stop. And if you see videos like that, respond to those people producing those videos and tell them it's got to stop. If they want to use their intelligence for something better, more positive things, more beautiful things, great. But creating videos showing and making the people in the oceans look like monsters is totally not right. Never right. Hey, One Toyota, thank you for the gifting. That just irks me now, because I come from a level of planet where people are very beautiful. Our space people are very beautiful. And there's even images of the space people that are misrepresented. And it's been that way for decades on the internet. Lies have been perpetuated on this planet about space people. That's got to stop. And I'm going to be the one to put stop to it on this show. I will. And also for the mer people. I'm going to be standing up for the mer people, because the mer people are being misrepresented in images on social media, especially on TikTok. Why would somebody get all this new AI imaging technology to create something looking that awful? Why? I don't get it. It's just, it's not right. Good morning, Nicole. Good to see you. Yeah, it's to create fear. These people are creating these videos, nothing less, nothing more than to create fear amongst unconscious people. So if you're just a regular person on TikTok, you say, oh no, this is what these mer people look like. They look really like monsters. Or people, I saw one yesterday. It looks just the image of a skull and a body. Come on now. Really. Hey Marinette, good to see you. It is sad. And I would suggest to my audience, if you see those videos, you need to tell that person who's created it, it's not right, and tell them why. That they're creating fear about something and creating images that are not true. And that's what's happening. That's what's going on. So that's my deal about the mer people. Yeah, show us more accurate pictures. But these people aren't going to do that. Because if they were to study the history of the mer people don't even look what they are producing. And then they have some, CGI image of this real-looking human being in a diver's suit, videotaping this ugly-looking thing that's swimming. Come on now. The technology has gotten so good that you can create an image making some person look real that's not really real. That's a fake image of a person who's right next to this thing, and they say, oh, that's it. That's it. Hey, Ricky Bobby, thank you. The one thing the commander is all about is truth. My whole life in my mission work here coming to Earth is about spreading truth. I don't care about all the wonderful technology to create, and even the ones that create the fake. There are people creating these images of fake spaceships with the Air Force, following them, and it's all fake. It's all, the technology has gone so good on imaging that it looks real, and it's not. So people that aren't educated in the subject are going to think, oh, that's a real thing. That happened? No, it didn't happen. Never happened. These people are taking liberty with the technology to create misinformation and fear-based videos that are going to confuse the public. Thank goodness for Encounters, where I can combat that stuff as a talk show host, because I really know what I'm talking about. And I do. Happy Friday, Midnight USA. Good to see you. So I'm amped up here this morning. There are certain things that concern me, the way imaging is being done on TikTok and on social media in general with CGI and AI. As good as some people think it is, there are people that are taking liberty with it to create fear-based negative images of even space people and even the mer people. I'm sure they're going to do it with other things. I guarantee it. I won't use any of that stuff. I don't need to. I have my show here. I provide good information. I have real people I talk to. We communicate with each other. We have great interviews, and that's all I care about. Robin Dean, thank you. Good to see you. Good morning. You should be able to hear me, Hetty. I don't know why you can't hear me. I got the volume up. Yeah, it's up. You should be able to hear me. So there's a lot going on in the world. Matter of fact, one of the things that's going on, I was reading about it here. Okay. There's a guy who was in the Pentagon, and Stephen Whiteside, September 11th, from News Nation, says, another former Pentagon insider is coming forward with a new memoir with claims about the agency's investigation of UFOs. Jay Stratton, a former director of the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, predecessor to the current All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO, that is tasked with investigating reports of UFOs, which the agency prefers to call unidentified anomalous objects or phenomena. And this memoir, it will be published by William Monroe. Producer Dan Farah has also secured the rights of a film and TV adaptation of it. So they don't know what this former Pentagon person is going to say, but other former officials have come forward recently to speak up about the allegations. The Pentagon knows more about UFOs than it is letting on. Whistleblower David Grush came forward with claims that the agency is running a secret UFO retrieval program, which I believe is true, prompting a congressional hearing and renewed efforts from lawmakers to push for more transparency on the issue. Most recently, former Pentagon employee Louis Alfonso released a book that said the Pentagon actually recovered a UFO in the famed 1947 Roswell incident, and suggests the government is in possession of non-human remains and that he has seen evidence of alien implants. He said he was aware of this through his role leading the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, which preceded the UAP Task Force. The Pentagon has denied that Alfonso's led AATIP has consistently said there is no evidence that UAPs are extraterrestrial in nature, and report AARO stated most reports were the result of mistaken identity, identifying drones or top secret projects as a source of unidentified objects. This is the deal. The Pentagon, their UFO organization, is saying that most of the things that they've investigated are not non-terrestrial, that they can be identified as, let me bring this down here. that they can be identified as conventional type of craft, the Pentagon is lying through their teeth. Why create an organization to investigate the subject within the Pentagon and then deny that anything exists? You know, what hypocrites the Pentagon is. And I hope the Pentagon's listening. I'm sure one of their proteges or somebody in the Pentagon building that listens to things like this are tuned into the Encounters show. Okay? The deal is, Pentagon, you're lying. You've been lying for 70 years, and now you start this UFO group within the Pentagon, and you're still lying. Why even have a Pentagon UFO investigative group if you're going to lie to the public? And people that were former Pentagon officials that are coming public with the truth, you're saying that, no, their information is not true? Really? Is that where we are? Thank you, Jackie. Is that where we are, Pentagon? I hope you can hear me. I'm speaking to you. Yeah, I'm calling out the Pentagon right now. Anyone in the Pentagon watching this show wants to come on here and have a discussion with the commander, let's go. Because by the time I get done with one of the Pentagon officials on here, they'll be hiding in the closet. I guarantee it. You see. Good morning, Michelle. I'm ready. I'm ready to talk to any Pentagon official on this show, any morning, any night, that wants to come on here and challenge what I'm saying. Because you're going to have to lie, because you're going to be told to lie. You know? You're going to lie. It doesn't matter what day or night it is, you're going to lie. How could anyone in the Pentagon go home to their families and you know, I'm sure there's certain protocol where they can't talk about certain things to their family members either. You know, it's amazing. And this whole thing I just read here, these people are former officials within the Pentagon. We don't know what they're going to say, but they're obviously going to try to say something. They're probably sworn to secrecy. Yeah, they deceive us. Deception. That's their key thing, deception. Right? Thank you, Boone. Thank you for the follow. My big show is on always at 11 o'clock at night. Saturday night is going to be our Ashtar Command Contact program. We're going to be doing a C5 on the Long Island Sound on the Connecticut side in Madison, Connecticut. If you're in the region and you wish to attend tomorrow night's event, please contact me at CmdrAleon at AOL.com so we can be in touch with you and give you information about our C5 event happening on the 14th at Madison, Connecticut in the evening. And we'll be able to correspond with you through the AOL email. Doug Bullock, UAP, deceptive name, as is UFO. You know, it's funny how the Pentagon originally, back in 1947, when the Roswell crash happened, it was called in the newspaper a flying saucer crashed, right? Which is more appropriate. The thing was a spaceship that crashed at Roswell's farm in Roswell, New Mexico, 1947. Then, over the years, and this is the thing, hey Andy J, good morning. Over the years, the Pentagon changed everything each time. So it was a flying saucer, it was UFOs, and then it was, a few years ago, they changed the word to UAP. So we're supposed to call it a UAP because they say so. No. Now, I don't care about the UAP or whatever you want to call it, because there's no such thing as a UAP. There is such things as a non-terrestrial spaceship, an extraterrestrial spaceship, a spaceship that comes from another planet or a dimension of existence. Yeah. Let's get into it. So, Pentagon, you want to create all these names that we have to go by because you say so? Well, I'm about that matrix in 2 seconds. I don't believe in UAPs. I don't believe in UFOs. I don't believe in all those terminologies. I do believe very clearly. Everything is very clear to me. There are spaceships coming from other worlds. There are spaceships coming from the inner Earth that come out of our oceans. Let's get real. Let's get real. Let's talk about real. Okay? I don't like to hedge around the bush. I don't like to, like say, oh, I don't like to get like, very like non-direct about what I'm talking about. I'm always wanting to be direct about what I'm sharing on my radio show and right here. That's the deal. So when you say UFOs, that can mean anything. It can mean it's a drone, it's swamp gas, it's whatever. So let's just use terminology. So if you see swamp gas, you know what swamp gas is. If you see a drone, you know what a drone is. If you see a spaceship, let's call it what it is. It's a spaceship. If you see a fleet of spaceships, they're not a fleet of UFOs, they're a fleet of spaceships. Why can't we just say it? Why are we afraid to say what it is? Really. So I'm out there to push the buttons of consciousness here. Let's call things what they are. Let's not make up all these excuses, and let's not just beat around the bush. We've been doing that for 70 years. We've been told to accept it for 70 years. Right? I don't want to be a fake or a phony and get on here. Oh yeah, there are a bunch of UFOs. Oh, they could be like a floating cloud, or maybe it's maybe it's a bird up there that's 10,000 feet in the atmosphere, or 20,000 feet up there. That silver bird that's coming around there. It's kind of weird, but maybe it's a bird. It could be swamp gas coming from space that's landing in somebody's field. It could be. It could be. No. I'm always direct. And as you get to know me on this show, and people have known me for years in my work, everything I do is direct. I don't beat around the bush about the subject. And for those people that think nothing exists, you'll be out of here in 2 seconds. I don't put up with that either. It's too important now in this time period to deal with energetic people that are just like totally not knowing what's going on and don't care what's going on. I do care. Because I came here to care. I came here to shift consciousness. That's why I did the radio show for 20 years, and I'm still doing it. To educate the public about the lies that you've been perpetuated with by media, by the Pentagon, Mystic, thank you, by all of these things you've been perpetuated with for years, growing up as kids. We've all been affected by it. I'm not the only one. I mean, I'm part of the effect of what that was. The difference is I became fully awakened and remembered where I came from. And when you become fully awakened, remember where you come from. I don't care what media you are. I don't care what Pentagon you are. I don't care what Prime Minister you are. I don't care what president you are. I don't care. Because I'm here for one reason, to bust the matrix of this planet. And if you don't think there's a matrix, there is. And people say, oh no, Commander, there's no matrix. There's a matrix. And I'm here to bust it. If I wanted to play the game of the human experience and just be the human experience and then get old and say, well, I had a great experience, that's too easy. That's really too easy. That's called being programmed. But I'm not going to be programmed. No one's going to be programmed. We're here to deprogram, to be free, cosmically free, spiritually free, to be understanding of who we are. It's the time. It's the time for us to do this, folks. It's time for us to know who we are, to learn who we are. Okay? And it takes time to change the things that have been ingrained in us through growing up as children. All of us. I don't care what decade it is. We've all been subjected to a program of lies. I don't care about politics. I don't care about religion. That's all part of the lie. It's all part of the 3D world. I don't care about it. What I do care about is the time for cosmic liberation of our planet Earth to be part of a galactic grouping of spiritual worlds that live in peace. That's what I'm concerned about. That's what the deal is. That's where we're going. Okay? It's the time, midnight. You're right. So don't wave any flags for your country at me. Don't wave an American flag at me and say, I'm a proud American, I'm a proud Russian, I'm a proud Chinese, I'm a proud whatever. Throw the flags of all the nations away and just be understanding that you are an earthly person. You're an earthling, an earthian, which has nothing to do with a country. You know, and there are people that get all hopped up when people do something and desecrate a flag. Look at the planet Earth and how we've desecrated the planet Earth. No matter where you are, we've polluted it. We've used nuclear weapons. We've nuclear radiation bombs in oceans. And people are concerned about their little flag. Whoop-de-doo. Really? Do I offend somebody when I say that? Maybe I'm touching a nerve. I don't care about your nation's flag. Who cares? I care about the air we breathe. I care about the planet, the changes that are happening. I care about you. I care about where we're going as a civilization. Don't you? I do. Yeah. No more separation. Absolutely freedom. We are one race, the human race. No more labels, no more separation. Very well said. Whoops. Yeah, we are Earthian. Hey, Kit Kat, we are Earthians. We are one people. Jackie Reed, thank you. Yeah, we are a collective. That's what we are. You see? If I can just reach every single person on this planet, on this show, and tell them these things, they might not agree with it because they're programmed, but it would be the truth. It might shake up and make them nervous to know that, hey, I'm not just merely a person from England or China or the Netherlands or whatever. I am an Earthian. I am on Earth. That's where we're going. When this planet has contact, we're not going to be called the United States. We're not going to be called Russia or China. We're going to go back to being what we truly were supposed to be. A consciousness that is a whole, not a part. A consciousness that is one, not separated. You see, we've lived in separation for thousands upon thousands of current human history, from the Roman Empire and before that. No more separation. The planets that are, the people that come from other planets, they don't have separation. They have one planet. Whatever the name of the planet is, that's the name of the planet. If you're from Venus, you're a Venusian. You are. If you're from Mars, you're a Martian. If you're from Saturn, you're a Saturnian. Whatever planet you're from, you are one whole planet. You're not a separate part of something on one planet, and then you've separated every part of your planet to be something else. Only on Earth have we done this. Only on Earth in current history, whatever that is, in the millions or billions of years we've been in existence, have we done this. Right? Yeah, we must question our beliefs. And our beliefs are created by the textbooks that we've had growing up as children, as kids. Those beliefs were instilled in us by media and by the textbooks. Unconditional love to all, that's correct. So we're going to get into some interviews today. I mean, I had to get this stuff out there to ponder because it's just the truth. You know, like I said, the Pentagon, you know, with all this stuff coming out, I'm reading it, you know, they're even going after the people that are former officials in the Pentagon trying to write a book. And sure, they'll make money on their book. We know that. If they do share any real truth, that'd be great. Obviously, the Pentagon doesn't want these people writing books. Hey, let them write books, you know. It's their right. If they say something that's going to be dramatically changing consciousness, and if they're going to tell some truth, fine. If their book is just based on more lies, no good. That's right. Religion does not provide unconditional love to all. You're absolutely right, Premium. So we're going to get into some interviews today. This morning, we're on tonight at 11, and we hope you'll join us on our big show. If you've had any encounters with space people, I want to hear it. Don't be afraid to come on here and share your story. I know there's a lot of people saying, I watched you for a while, I finally decided to come forward. come forward now. If you're with the government and you have top secret information, if you know somebody in your family that works in high levels on the UFO area and you have top secret information, you can come on and share that information. It's time. We cannot be afraid to share what we know. If you're a government official, you're watching this show, you cannot be afraid to tell the truth. Okay? You're going to feel better, more empowered on this show if you speak the truth, share your information, than not, and just sit here quietly saying, I quietly agree, but I can't say anything. That's a programmed system. When people are programmed by the places like the Pentagon, and they mean that they're a young guy in the Pentagon or gal, and they have information, they have top security clearance, come on the show. I know on TikTok there are people that have top security clearance because I've talked to them. They use TikTok quietly without their agency knowing about it. There are people on here in government agencies using TikTok. Don't you think there aren't? There are. There are. And I'm sure they'll come across this show this morning or tonight. I think Kidder. No, I don't get any of that here. We're not really into that too much. Hey, greetings, Grace. So I'm interested in people's experiences. I have a lot of knowledge on the subject. And I'd love to hear your stories too, and I will help you. I've actually, on this show for new people, I'm able to take implants remotely out of people who've been abducted by ETs, the lower vibrational Zeta situations. In the last 2 weeks, I've done, and they're all documented on my Astro Command Spaceship News channel on YouTube. You'll see interviews with people where I've actually destroyed negative ET implants that have put in their bodies. Now you say, how could you do that? I've been activated by the Astro Command to do this. Okay? I was activated less than a month ago. And people that watch me know that I've done this. How many people have seen me destroy implants on my live here? Some of you have, if you've been watching my show. You know I can do this. And Cole has seen it. Misty has seen it. Days has seen it. A number of people have seen it. So I am able to destroy negative ET implants in a person's body. There's no pain when I do it. I take the implant out remotely from here. And it doesn't matter whether you're in Russia, China, or England, I can take the implant right out and destroy it. I'm talking about the actual physical implant. So if I put an implant, and I'm a negative ET, and I put an implant in your head or something near your brain, I can take it out and destroy it. I'm absolutely able to destroy it. They can just come on my show. So Danielle, if you have an implant right now and you come up live with me, I can take the implant out. I can destroy it. It will not hurt. I will turn it into nothingness. It will be gone, and I can destroy the implants. The Zeta don't like it, but I work in Christ consciousness. I'm part of the Astro Command, having the human experience, but I've been activated by my father on the ship, and I'm able to use the palm of my hand to destroy the implant. I use both palms, and I can destroy the implant. Yes, I take it out while I'm live on the air. I take it out. The person on the other side who I'm talking to, man or woman, I put them into a state where they get relaxed, and then I use the palm of my hand, and in a few minutes I'm using certain energies to go into their physical body where the implant is, and I take it out and destroy it. I also clear with the palm of my hand any residual energies in their house from any negative ETs, and I destroy that. I basically turn it into nothing, and I amp up the frequencies in their house or vibration and put a protection around their body after I'm done, so they're never going to be affected again. Yeah, no, I do, like, because I do a talk show. They pretty much leave me alone here. I'm a professional talk show host, and I've been in touch with them, and they pretty much, one time that happened to me, it only lasted for a few minutes. I was back up because they whatever was being stated was incorrect. Let's see here. Daniel Thomas, we're going to bring you up. I have a feeling we're dealing with a situation here. We're going to help Daniel Thomas. And Danielle, good morning. Are you
Good morning.
there? Oh, Dan, good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So you've been hearing my discussion about what I do in terms of the implants. So I'm guessing you've had a situation. Tell us your story. Have you been had negative ET contact and had that problem?
So, I recently have just been like within the past like year or two, just like man, just been contacted by the like like people that are not from this like solar system. I feel like that just are tapping into my brain waves, my earthy and brain waves, and trying to disrupt my connection.
And how old are you?
I'm about 19 years old.
About 19. Okay, because I don't want any problems here, because TikTok will have a problem if you're not old enough to be on here.
Yeah, I get that, man.
Okay, my better judgment told me not to keep going with that person. My better judgment told me not to go there, and I think I made the right call on that one before we got started. Yep, I made the right call. Not happening. Not happening. Let's see here. Okay, we're gonna just do this. I just took that person out. I blocked them. They won't be able to come back in. Yep. That could have gone south real quick. Deb's Lit Life, welcome to the show. But if there's anybody who's real, you have to be over 18. You have to be over 18. No foul language, no drinking, no drunks, no vaping, no smoking, no cursing, no paranormal discussion, no politics, no religion, no kids on the show. And I'll know real quick if you're coming up and you're not who you say you are, I will disconnect you and block you in 2 seconds. Guaranteed. So think before you do anything. Right. No making stuff up. Because this is a professional show, and I will take you out. And my mods are watching also. Matter of fact, I fixed my moderator thing so I can get the people that I want to moderate here. And this is Encounters. I'm Christian Michaels. I'm a son of Mother's Universe. Christian Michael. When you say I'm a son of Mother Universe, what do you mean by that? Lady Wolf, welcome. Hey, good to see you. Thank you for the gift. I just want to keep it real, folks. You know, we're in a situation where we're going to have contact in a year and a half, so I want to keep it real. You know, to me, coming here to Earth, I come from space. When I come to Earth, there's all these different things people are. You know, I'm this, I'm that. You know, I'm a banker, I'm a lawyer, I'm this, I'm that. Who cares? Those are all titles. As we get closer to contact, people have to get their acts together on this planet really soon. They want to have control, AC. They do that to have control. Darn tootin'. When was the last contact? Oh, there's been contact on this planet for billions of years. We're just the current civilization that's having contact. People are being visited. In the 1960s, when I was a kid, until when I grew up, I knew more about them. There have been people that would meet at Giant Rock, study Giant Rock. Many people had contact. They wrote memoirs. They wrote journals about contact with Venusians. They called themselves Venusians. They were humans, men and women. They were taken on these spaceships in the desert of Arizona or somewhere, or in Italy. And these people, they're not alive anymore, but they wrote these books, their contactee experiences. And these books, if you can find them, give you a history of the contactee movement around the world, which started in the 50s, 60s, and onward. Many of those people aren't around anymore. Yeah, blessed. I stay away from that stuff. I understand there's stuff like that on documentaries. Wayne, I will speak to people on my show that have had experiences, be it abductions, be it contact experiences, who have had seen crop circles. If people come in here and want to argue about the existence of what I'm talking about, it's not going to happen. If they're coming here, Wayne, to learn about the things that I know for 21 years being on the radio, I've been on radio and NPR radio for 21 years. I have an extreme background in this subject. If someone wants to argue with me that has no background in the subject, they're going to lose. Unless they can substantiate what they're saying, anyone can have an opinion, but an opinion doesn't mean it's fact. Anyone can have a belief system, but that's just a belief system. When you've had the experiences I've had in the 1960s when a spaceship landed in the cul-de-sac in Long Island, New York when I was a kid, and I went upstairs and I see space people with light blue outfits, you can have an opinion that I didn't have that experience, but you're going to lose because I did have the experience. I remember the experience. It's when 1960s is when I had the experience. So I'm open to your opinion, but what is your opinion? What's your opinion going to be? What's your experience? You know, we'll deal with that. Prima says, do you believe that more than one person could have written the books under a ghost authorship? I think it's possible, yeah. Let me see here. Eddie Britt. Good morning, Eddie Britt. Dawn Gladden. Hey, good to see you. Right, Premium. No one else. That's right. You're right, Premium. No one else can tell you of your own experience. It's funny. There are people that, the non-believers, the people that have never had the experience, they'll tell somebody if they say, I had an experience, they say, well, prove it. I love those people that say, prove it that you had the experience. Well, I can't. It happened when I was a kid. So how can I prove it? Either you believe the story or not. Most of these people that don't believe in this stuff will believe anything they see on national TV, on ABC News, CBS, Fox, or whatever it is. They believe that more than the true stories that people tell. That's because they're still in the matrix. And those are the people I love challenging, because I'm going to bust their matrix and their belief systems. If they're going to say nothing happened, I will crush their belief systems. I love doing it. Hey, Nikki D, good to see you. Let me see who else is here. Octagon. Let's see. Davey K, welcome to our show. Van Gogh, that's a good name. So I interview people here for new people. This is a show about encounters, spiritual UFO areas of topic. If you've been abducted, if you've had direct contact, I'm willing to interview you. If you want to come on the show and share your experience, you have to be over 18. That's a deal breaker. You have to no smoking, no vaping, no drugs, no cursing or foul language, no paranormal discussion, and no religion or politics. That's the deal. Because the name of the show is called Encounters. You know, it's not called Vote for Somebody or Join My Religion. It's a talk show. Just so you know the difference. Thank you for the team bracelet. Hey, Alicia, good morning. EWA, good morning. Marceline, let's bring you up here. Let's talk about that. Come on up. Marceline, I think it is. Can you come up? You're invited. I'll tell you whether you had an abduction experience based on your dream. Oh, you can't? Okay, if you can tonight, try to come up tonight. We'll talk to you. Vial999 says, I was taken by blue beings in white lab coats. Let's see here. I'm going to bring this gentleman up on Encounters with No One Spiritual UFO Talk Show. I just sent an invite out to you. Just press the accept button if you can come up, unless you're working or something. I was taken by blue beings in white lab coats. That's interesting. Oh, you're working. I kind of figured, okay, so tonight come up and we'll talk about your story. Who was I with yesterday? What do you mean, who was I with yesterday? Eddie, can you explain? Bahapen says I had an out-of-body experience. Eddie, what do you mean? Remember last time I tried to come up and it was terrible service. I was at work. Yeah. So if you're not working tonight, come up and I think it'll be better. Oh, Eddie? Eddie is with the Star Nation conferences. He's a friend of ours from out west, and he was on last night on my show. That show's recorded. All our shows are recorded from yesterday morning and last night. If you go to my Astro Command Spaceship News channel on YouTube, you'll be able to actually see the show and watch the show if you missed it. Oh, no problem, Eddie. So with 161 people, I always do the math here. I do the math. Hey, it's good to see you, Stacy. Welcome. And I do the math here. So I do believe at up 155 people watching the show that there's somebody here who's had encounters or experiences with extraterrestrial intelligence. Now, if you come up here and you say, yeah, you know what, I'll tell my story, understand you have to be over 18 to do it. No foul language, no drinking, no drunks, no smoking, no vaping, no politics, no religion, no paranormal discussion, no kids on the show. I think that covers everything. Okay? But if you're a new person and you've never been up here, this is the time to come out of the closet and share what's going on. Are you being visited by ETs? I want to know about it. Our audience wants to know about it. This is about disclosure. This show's about truth. By hearing your stories and sharing them, you're not alone. There's a lot of people here that have had experiences. You know? A lot of people. So who here who's never been on my show before live would like to share a story? Who's being visited here? I want to do a little quiz question. Who here has not been on my live before is being visited? Anyone? Physically visited. Don't be afraid. Hey, Oklahoma. Oh, okay. We'll have to talk about that tonight. So who can come on the program this morning that's not working, that is in a place where they can come on here? Who has not been on here and is being visited by extraterrestrials or space people? Anybody? And again, this question's for the people that have not been on the show before. Kristen, welcome to the show. I think it's Prophet this Yola. Nick Lopez, welcome. I have a question. Was it hormones or an entity, which I didn't think about way back then as a young mom? And I'm not sure how to answer that question. That's an interesting question. I'm not sure how to answer it. Wazelle, welcome. Welcome all the other people coming in here. So I'm trying to get a gauge in my question of who has never been on my program live that is having visitations right now, physical contact with space people. Who is out there having that contact? You're having contact with space people? It's BAHAPANT, physical. They're visiting you? Joe Beans, welcome. Not physical. Stephen Lawrenson, Mantis. Okay, let me do this here. Stephen, I'm going to bring you up here. You say you're having physical visitation with Mantis beings. If you're able to come up, please do. You have to be over 18. You'll be our first guest. This is Encounters. We're normally on at night. This is the #1 spiritual UFO talk show on social media. That's it, Stephen.
Yeah, how you doing?
Stephen, welcome to the show. And where are you about located?
I'm in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, great. So interesting you said the Mantis. I'm familiar with the Mantis over the years, the stories about them. When did that start start happening to you?
So I only have one instance with something strange involving Mantis. I've been researching and learning and on this subject for a few years now, and it wasn't an actual. I did not see it. My wife, while she was sleeping, saw it. Had a dream that it was standing over our bed. And while she was sleeping, I felt this bizarre presence. And I don't talk to her a ton about these things. Definitely not in descriptive of like me learning about Mantis or anything. Right. As she was sleeping, I was awake, being very, just felt this odd presence in the room. I started looking online about different presences, and the first thing that comes up on my research is about Mantis people. And it was the first time. It was the first time I ever researched Mantis or heard about them as a race. And my wife jumps up from bed, just terrified, and she's like, "What's going on?" She was like, "There was just this creature in the room." I again had never told her about any of this, and I was literally just learning in that moment, reading about these Mantis people as she's sleeping. And she describes exactly what I was reading. And I was like, that is one of the most bizarre moments. I'm literally reading about Mantis people right now. Anyway, so I did not physically see one, but what she described in her dream and then what I have been reading about them seems to be almost one for one in terms of stature, about 9 feet tall, how they position themselves, kind of how they appear. Part of the dream that I liked that she said is I was able to immediately counteract the being and remove it from the house.
Really interesting.
And I've had go ahead.
So your wife had this dream, and you removed the Mantis from the house. Is that what I'm hearing?
Right, correct.
Interesting. So you had the empowerment within you to do this.
I mean, that would be great. So hopefully what I'm taking from it. I mean, I've been strongly in this subject for many years now, diving in all sorts of ways and, slowly getting into, gateway tapes and all that stuff as well.
Wow. So with this experience, which is Now, when we talk about this, like we call it a cosmic dream, but in reality, folks, what Stephen's talking about is a reality where they want you to, the mantis wanted you to think it was a dream, but they were really there.
Yeah,
But
that's what I.
Yeah, they were there.
Yeah.
They try to make you feel it's a dream. They'll do this to you, and you'll think, oh, I had this dream about this mantis being or whatever, and then you had the power to, for whatever reason, you had the power within you to get the mantis to disappear. Correct?
I mean, that's what I take away from it. Definitely unexplainable to some degree, and I'm careful in what I say, or because so much of it is not quantifiable, I guess. But yeah, for the most part, that was the experience of the night.
I mean, you know what? I'm finding since I've been on radio for 21 years and TikTok since 2023, these cosmic dream experiences, I've come to the conclusion after hearing the stories that these people, I tell them, you're not dreaming. They want you to think it's a dream, but it really is happening, whether you're taken on a ship. I've had those people I've been taken on a ship, both positive and negative experiences, and it's real. I mean, it's not a dream, but the extraterrestrial consciousness will make you think it's a dream. So it's interesting, the dynamics of what you're talking about with your wife having the situation. You're essentially, I don't know if you ever term starseed, but you would be considered starseed. You're a human being like I am, but you're having the human experience. The reason why you're interested in all this stuff is because you didn't come from this world. Have you ever thought of that in yourself? Like, maybe I'm not from here?
My entire life. Yeah.
Entire life, right? Because you're not from here. I don't know where you're from, but I do sense by talking to you that you came from afar. You came here to be here to experience Earth life, and you're here to elevate consciousness within yourself and help your wife, which is your partner, and that's the most important thing you can do. And then sharing your story, you're now showing the whole listening audience all over the world that, well, there are people here that will relate to your story and say, well, you know what? I can relate to that. I've had that experience. Sure. So you're helping people just by sharing your story.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it
really is.
It's very, the more I've dived into these subjects and spending time with it, the more I learn that it is, how do I explain it? It's not what you think, It's a zoo. I think like it started, with reading about radars and what the government's picking up and translated to spirituality and God and the universe, and it's a zoo of, I think, possibilities of what reality is, what we're interacting with, what's interacting with us. And it seems to be the more you, I guess, open that door, in a sense, the more I think you start experiencing, and in a sense, even just get downloads. There's many times with a lot of these subjects or dreams or days where I'm like, I didn't even research a subject, but I just inherently feel like I understand a part of the subject now.
Yeah. So someone's asking, can you explain more about the mantis, what you do know of them? What are they? What's their purpose? I've heard so many different varied stories, but what do you think their purpose is?
I don't know. Purpose, I really don't know. I mean, mantis is probably one of the more lower end on what I've studied, or not necessarily studied, but just I've tried to study them. Just very little information. Not nearly as much as like Palladians or the Greys or tall whites. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to spread misinformation that I don't really quite understand yet.
That's okay. It's better to tell the truth than try to spread stuff you don't know about.
100%. About that kind of event, it felt like the being was not necessarily friendly. Or was, in what way, I don't know. I don't know if harmful physical harm was a thing or just a bit deceiving or what, but it did seem like it is not something that one wanted to know it was there, and my wife definitely didn't want it in the room, and how I manifested in her dream, I didn't want it there either.
And do you remember, like, like what time this was when it happened? Like what year? When did this happen to her?
This was a few months ago.
A few months ago.
And it was like 3 in the morning, I believe, around probably 3 or 4 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. And there's other significant things in that week. Like my wife in general is very I don't know how you want to say it, but has many dreams that come true. Things that she's definitely connected in those ways. And specifically in that week, I had several things happen around that 3 o'clock period that were very strange.
Really?
One of them, a friend was in my dream, like literally the 2 nights before that happened. A friend was in my dream and he was hungry, and I gave him an apple, but I didn't want to. I remember feeling this like really like something's wrong with my friend here. Like this isn't my friend, or something's off. I gave him the apple. I woke up and in sweat, had night sweats from it. It was just a really odd dream. And moments before I woke up, that friend had texted me and said, "I just woke up from a dream. You were in it, and you gave me a gift."
Really? So talk about that. That's where your consciousness is elevated to a frequency that you normally wouldn't see when you're awake, your friend or you. You're right?
Sure.
Kit Kat, thank you. It's pretty amazing. So you evidently, I think you have an elevated consciousness from talking to you. Do you realize you have that consciousness?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's something that throughout my life, like I'm a pretty spiritual person, and it's taken different forms as I've gotten older, and but I feel like throughout my life there have been moments. Even as a young kid, I have a memory that I was being followed by a red orb.
Really? Let's talk about that. How old were you when the red orb was following you?
Yeah, and then now, granted all the things we know about these stuff, that seems to be a commonplace thing. But yeah, when I was very young, my friend was staying over at my house, and one night we had this red orb that was in the corner of my room, just kind of hovering. And we believed that it was... a light in the room, like my alarm clock must be producing light. There's something from the window producing light. And one by one, we went and just, closed the door, everything. And that glowing light was just in the corner, not really moving. And then we turned on the light and it went away. We didn't see anything. We went to bed. And then he woke me up, shortly after again. He was like, "It's back." And I mean, it was pitch black in the room. Nothing in the room, nothing producing light, and there was this just kind of plasma-y, vibrating red orb in the corner.
That's amazing.
That was a long time ago. I was probably like 13 years old, maybe.
13 years old. So what was your perception of the red orb? As I hear about, I'm trying to read the energy about the red orb in my consciousness.
Sure.
I can tell you what I think, but I want to know, what did you feel from it?
Honestly, it was so long ago that I don't remember. Having just a little hang with my friend, and I don't remember my emotions or feelings that much.
Yeah, I was gonna say, were you and your friend afraid of the orb, or did you care?
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Okay, I don't think.
Yeah, which is a good point to bring up. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't think so. I don't feel like we had fear. Okay. It was more a curiosity of like what would be producing this.
So could it be possible that orb, and I'm not saying it's connected with the mantis, but could that
Sure, who
orb
knows?
be a very highly advanced plasma device that came from a spaceship that was able to go right through the wall and appear right in your room?
It's very plausible.
And
Actually,
I'm not
I
saying, I'm not saying it's connected to the Mantis experience. It could be a
sure,
completely different non-terrestrial experience too.
sure, 100%. I think I didn't think about the orb for a couple decades, and then once I started really diving into this stuff, realizing that's a big part of what people are seeing. So I started trying to remember that memory a little bit more, and the more I've delved down orbs and all that stuff, the more I don't know what it is or what it could be. Um, I'm assuming you know who Carl Neal is.
Vaguely, can you explain to our audience who Carl O'Neill is, just so they know?
Carl Neal was has all sorts of accolades in the government, and he was one of the main guys that started really most of our space programs. He he just worked all over our classified parts of our government, especially with anything involving satellites, space, all that kind of stuff. He spoke at the Soul Foundation, which I would definitely suggest anyone that is watching go pull up that full video because it is fascinating. But he talks about these things being kind of not what we expect, and he actually gets very spiritual, which is interesting. He starts talking about angels and what would people do if the reality of angels or other entities appeared in front of you.
Right.
And the more I dive down Carl's story, and then Lou Elizondo, he's been talking about orbs. I think there potentially is a spiritual component to these things. What does that mean? I'm not sure. But it's odd that these types of interactions, the government and very high up government officials are starting to talk about specifically orbs and talking about them in very odd fashions of, not just a plasma, but like, are these spiritual entities coming from somewhere?
Right. So orbs. There are orbs that are extraterrestrial, being there are orbs that come from space, from the higher positive space beings. There are orbs that come from other levels of non-terrestrial intelligence, and also, yes, Jennifer, you're correct, interdimensional beings too. And these orbs that are actual beings can take the orb form and then go into a physical body form of a light being. So they look circular as orbs if they're from a higher vibrational pattern. But I've heard stories about the orbs of a higher consciousness turning into a physical, radiant form of light, like a human.
Wow, it's literally transforming.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
What is your name? I actually need to jump off. I gotta head to work in 2 seconds.
I'm gonna let you go. My name.
But I would love to talk more. Are you live later?
I'm live at 11 nightly. I'm usually on at night. That's my big show. I've been trying to do some morning shows here for people. So 11 o'clock at night, join us if you'd like to. You're welcome to be here.
Awesome. Great. Well, thank you so much for having me on this morning, and great talking with you.
You've been great. Well, don't work too hard and have a good weekend.
Appreciate it. You as well.
All right. Take care. We're going to bring him down. All right. So again, we're glad to have everybody with us here. We're trying to do some morning shows here when we can, sporadically during the week. And I'm CmdrAleon, your host of the 11 o'clock Big Show encounters at nighttime, and also Saturday night, September 14th, in Madison, Connecticut. We're going to be live with encounters right on the beach on the Connecticut side, and we're going to be doing a C5 Contact with Extraterrestrials event. We're going to be using Dr. Stephen Greer's application, as well as our protocol of the Ashtar Command, which will mix with that, and we're going to use certain tones and stuff to vector in the spaceships of light over the Long Island Sound, which is a beautiful place. And we're going to have very, very good weather. The weather is so perfect. For once, I can't believe it. I mean, this is going to be outrageous. If our meditation does what it should do, we should be able to document spaceships coming over the Long Island Sound, however low they get or whatever they do. We're going to be using night vision equipment. tomorrow night. Kit Kat, we'll see you there with Chris, I'm sure. And Kit Kat's one of our group of 5 that I've talked about that are going off planet before the next year and a half. And so we're looking forward to this very much. So if anyone's in Connecticut or the New England region, and if you're going to join us, please message me or email me for directions today or whatever. I will eventually get to the messaging. I am multitasking, so I'm not going to be rushing my emails, but I will get to email me. You can email me at CmdrAleon@AOL.com. If you're going to want directions, you probably want to bring some water with you. We don't know what the temperature is going to be on the Long Island Sound. Usually it'll be a little bit cooler. And the night, even though it's supposed to be warmer this weekend, bring comfortable clothing to wear. And there are benches and chairs. You might want to bring a blanket or something. But we're going to be right on the beach. Yeah, it's the TV. We can do that. I will do that, actually. When we do the meditation after we're done, I will ask them to reveal themselves. We're going to be going live around 8 or 8:30 tomorrow night. We're going to get our group together before darkness to get everything set up, but we will be going live on TikTok about 8 or 8:30. It'll be dark already at 8 o'clock. We'll be going to 11 p.m. Within that period of time. David says I was taken. And let's see, Nicole, let's see, 8:30, around 8:30, you'll see us pop on here. And again, we'll be doing our meditation. I think we're going to do the meditation first, and then we'll go live after that so you can actually see what we're doing as well. Let me see here. I would like you to listen to my experience and give me feedback. Okay, I think, Eddie, we have a few more minutes to do some stuff here. Tonight we'll be on a lot longer on Friday night. And let's see, Eddie, welcome to the show.
Hi, how you doing?
We're doing good. And how are you?
It's Edie, not Eddie.
Oh, Edie, I'm sorry, Edie. You know what? You're right. I'm a little bit spaced out here, so what do you want? But Edie, so tell us where you are and give us a little bit of background about your experience.
I'm in Michigan, and
yeah.
How you doing?
You good?
So this was back in, I want to say the late 80s, and I thought I was dreaming. So when you're in that space between worlds and you're not quite asleep, I would say I'll just tell it like I explain it in my head, and I don't like to talk about this because it scares me. So just kind of bear with me.
All right.
So they would come, and then I would go through what I felt was when people talk about near-death experiences and they go through a tunnel of light, which I've had a near-death experience and I didn't have that, but it was like a light beam almost.
A light beam?
It was a light beam. And I don't remember what happened there, but I really looked forward to it. And every night I would lay down, I would say to myself, I wonder if they're going to come tonight. So it was something, it wasn't negative at all, until I got pregnant. And when I got pregnant, I had, the experience made me curious enough to go out and get some books and try to understand what exactly is going on. I didn't really delve too deeply. I've always felt that we had another presence here on the planet, but I didn't want to really look at it very much.
Mm-hmm.
But during that period of time, I was trying to discover more. But then when I got pregnant, I became terrified. I didn't want them coming. I burned the books. I somehow I shut them down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite sure how I did that. It was a long time ago. But, I mean, was I dreaming?
I
Or,
think you I think you had some real experiences, what I call the reality of the dream state. Sometimes you can say that when you go to sleep, you're coming out of a dream, which is the earth-based experience, right? So you and I right now, we're having it's real. We are actually really
yes.
not dreaming. But there's the cosmic dream where people have had experiences and say, some people had positive dreams where they're going on a spaceship, they see men and women on a ship, and they're human and they're loving, and then other people have dreams where they're taken and being abducted by lower vibrational ETs. I've interviewed those people, so I think there's a lot of variations to what we call the dream state. The question is, how do you feel about it, and did you feel in yourself it was real?
Well, I mean, I really don't like to admit it, but I do think it was real.
Right. So it's
Because
better to admit.
it just
It's
scares me. You know, I really
well,
don't want them coming back
okay,
and
and then
taking me, you know.
and these were what, the Zeta? What kind of beings were they?
I don't, you know, they wiped my memory.
Okay, so
It's
here's what I
interesting.
want to do.
I was left with such a wonderful feeling, and I really looked forward to them coming. And
Mhm.
like I said, I would lay at night, you know, I would be just very still in bed, thinking if I calmed myself, that's how somehow making myself like a meditative state almost, but not
Mhm.
asleep, encouraged that, you know, them coming.
Now,
Um,
can you kind of give us a little more detail explaining what they look like?
I don't remember what they looked like.
So when
But
you said you
I
look
will
forward
tell
to
you
them,
that the books that I got that terrified me, I think the mantis head type person, and I have not investigated the different types of aliens that we have. I don't really know. I have not looked at it at all.
so you mentioned the word mantis. So are you there's a little bit of memory there because you just said the word mantis, right?
Well, I only said that because of the caller that was the previous guest,
Okay.
and
But for you,
shape of a head is when I looked at the book that I had, that sort of a head. I mean, I had to immediately get rid of that book. I had to,
Mhm.
you know,
Right,
stop thinking about that and just push
right.
that out of my mind.
So let me do something here while you're on here, if you'll let me do this. Maybe I don't know how much you've watched my show, but I do this thing. I work with the star people, the Ashtar Command, which are men and women. My family's on a spaceship, and so I'd like to do something for you if I can. I'd like to unblock your memory, and so you can remember everything. It'll be healthier for you to go through memory, release the memory, and there it'll be clear from your consciousness, and then you can move on to whatever future cosmic experiences positively that you'll have in the future. Can we do that?
Sure.
Okay. So I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to breathe in and breathe out of your nostrils. I want you to do this a few times until you're totally, completely relaxed.
Okay.
Okay. I want you to also turn your brain off. And when you're ready, you let me know.
Okay.
Okay. What I'm going to do now, and this is with the palm of my hands. You can see my hands here. That's really interesting. My hands are not disappearing. The palm of my hands. I'm going to work on you remotely from where you are in Michigan. And for folks who watch my show, you know I can do what I do. I've been activated by my father on the ship. I'm actually able to do exactly what I'm going to do here. You're going to see it here. Everything I do is documented. Now, this is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to help clear and unblock your consciousness with these space beings, whoever they were, they blocked your consciousness. And you also blocked it out yourself. So in order to get rid of the fear, we have to face it. So what we're going to do is we're going to face it, but we're going to remove it and release it. And it's not going to be something that's stuck in your consciousness. Right now you have that fear stuck in your consciousness, which is inhibiting you from moving forward on your elevation of your cosmic experience. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to, in a few minutes, you're going to feel an energy, a warmth of energy around your brain area.
Okay.
That's where the blockage is. And we're going to unblock your consciousness so it can flow. Once your consciousness is able to flow freely, you'll be able to have cosmic positive contact instead of what's going on. I'm working on the sides of your brain area, on both sides, right and left, the back area of your brain, and the top area. How are you feeling?
Pretty good.
Yeah. When a few days after I've done this, slowly but surely, you're going to remember who you are. You're going to remember your purpose. And you're going to have only positive contact. If I'm closing my eyes, the reason, folks, I close my eyes, for some reason I have to, in order to have a focus. I'm going to do one last thing here. This, you should feel this. There'll be a little bit stronger energy. Tell me when you feel it.
I can feel it.
Okay. I'm just clearing out the last parts of the blockage. My understanding is some ET, lower vibrational ETs, were blocking you. They didn't want you to elevate your consciousness, but that's not happening. I'm also putting a protection around your body. I'm putting a shield of light around you permanently. You'll be well protected when you're sleeping, when you're awake, wherever you go. You'll be radiating a light that will be within you and around your body, so to speak. In a minute, you should be feeling energy flowing around the sides of your body. Yes, I'm doing this. When you do feel it, let me know, please.
I can feel it.
Okay. You can open your eyes now.
How did you know I had my eyes closed?
I did.
That was amazing.
You're now healed.
That was very moving. I was crying.
It's okay to cry.
Somewhat shaking, yeah.
You can cry. What I dealt with is I cleared your energy. I cleared the blockage. My focus was on you and nobody else in this room, just you. And you're now able to proceed forward. There is a energy field around you that I created, and you'll no longer have any experiences of blockage.
Thank you so much.
Come back. Yes, I want you to come back when you're ready, when you finally have a clear communications. I want you to say these words. This is always important when I do this to people. I want you to say, I am a cosmic Christed being of light.
I am a cosmic Christed being of light.
I want you to say, I am a cosmic Christed being of light.
I am a cosmic Christed being of light.
And I am free, free,
And I'm
free.
free, free, free.
All right, Sister Edie.
Oh, thank you so much. That was amazing. That was amazing. You really have a gift.
I can only thank my father on the ship for doing this to me a few weeks ago when I was on the ship. He touched my forehead, and I didn't know. I knew about it from my friend who goes on off planet with our Astro Command families. And I've been activated on a much higher level. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so
All right.
much. I have to go to work now, but
I'm going to let
you
go.
I just can't even express how thankful I am to you. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And I do this unconditionally. This is my mission, part of my mission anyway. All right, I'll let you go.
Thank you. Take care.
All right,
Bye-bye.
take care, Edie.
Bye.
And I am a cosmic Christed being of light. That's correct, Lady Wolf. All right. So just to let people know, when you're going to want to be a guest and you've had an experience, you have to get up to 50 followers. Just if you're new on TikTok, once you get to 50, I guess that's the new rule, 50 minimum, then you can come up as a guest, but you have to get up to 50. All right. And David, we'll have David up here. David, if you come on tonight, I know you said you were working. I'd like to get on when you're not working and there's no noise, so we can definitely have you on here. So I really want to focus on you. Yes, Acid TV. The Astro Command in the 60s shut down all the nuclear facilities, silos, and that's what prevented us from blowing up our planet. All right. I want to thank you all for being here. I thank you, Johnny. Thank you. For those that are new to my show, understand I am not from this world. I am from the Astro Command. I am CmdrAleon. I was involved in intergalactic communications off planet. I am also a contactee, and my space family showed up when I was a kid in the 60s in a spaceship in my cul-de-sac in Long Island when I was a kid. I live in New England most of my life here. So this is what I mean. I don't have any neon lights or dangling pendulums or cards or big crystal balls. Everything I do is real, and everything I am doing is real. So I love all of you. I have to always end my shows with love. I love all of you, and I hope you love yourselves as well. Because if you don't love yourselves, no one else can love you except you first. No one can love you except you first. When you accept yourself, the totality of who you are, brothers and sisters, then you will know. Many blessings to each of you. May you go in peace this day. This has been Encounters, the morning show. I'll be on tonight at 11 p.m. for our big show. Don't miss it. Take care, everybody. Have a good Friday.